If I could have everybody's attention, we'll go ahead and begin. Welcome to the very first meeting of the Mayor's Youth Advancement Council of Jonesboro. Congratulations to all of you. You're the inaugural class, and I'm so excited. My name is Shelley Anderson, and I hope to be your leader throughout the duration of the year. But at this time, I am so honored to introduce our mayor, Mayor Harold Copenhaver.
How are y'all doing? Sorry, I don't want to use the mic. But, you know, I've watched some of y'all grow up, get taller than me, and I'm looking forward to what's coming. But it's your idea, it's your creativity, and the reason this was formed was for that reason. It's not about going to meetings, okay? Those are boring, right? It's about what you all and your vision of the future of what Jonesboro can be. And so I'm really excited about the opportunity I had. Have y'all heard of NYIT, the College of NYIT? Okay. I had them reach out to me this morning. It's New York Institute of Technology. It is the pre-med and medical school at Arkansas State University. They want you all to come out and see what their students are doing. I want y'all to see what this community is about and then incorporate your ideas. That can be from beautification. That can be from many areas, whether it's engineering and the opportunities. But you need to put your stamp on it. And what I mean by that is you get involved, this will be your community for life. You know, I'm really excited. 2 weeks ago, we announced a $24 million possibility of a grant for a trail. Okay, does that excite y'all? It's gonna be cool. All right, it's going to be cool because what it does, we had to be creative with that. And you're going to meet some of those people in this room that really helped to assist in putting that together, from engineering to planning to grants. It's a collaborative effort because we had to think outside the box. Okay, we just can't go after a widened sidewalk, right? We had to put in broadband. We had to put in things that would provide extra drainage for our community. So when flood mitigation, they call it. So we had to think outside the box on how we can do that. And then we're going to go to Washington and we're going to present that plan. We're also going to present a plan here probably within the next month, we don't know when, of an expansion off of that. It could be $60 million. Who do we have here? There's two? This is great. This is great. Thanks. Oh, now there we go. Stole the show. So what I'm trying to say is you can put your footprint on this. We got to use your creativity. I want you to be able to, you know, get involved in how we can communicate with your generation, right? Y'all talk different on the cell phones than we do. You have a different venue, you have a different avenue, right? So, but we have to also incorporate broadband into Jonesboro. Okay, so a lot of places you can't get internet communications, right? Especially for students. All right, so you go home, you don't have the availability of using that. So what we're doing today is, and Ms. Shelley Anderson has put a great amount of work into this. What we've done, we've looked at other communities, Little Rock, Fayetteville, Rogers, El Dorado, Fort Smith, that have had youth commissions. Some have been successful, some haven't been. We won't blow them out of the water. The only way we can do it, though, is with your creativity. So Ms. Shelley has put together a great formula, and we're going to move forward. But mind you, this is not fixed. It can be adjusted accordingly to what your plans are, right? So I'm excited about it. I want you to come up with the city motto, okay? That's important because that means that's going to reference this community for a long, long time, as long as I'm mayor. So there are a lot of things that we want you to put your footprint on, and it's your creativity that we're looking forward to. So I'm excited about this. So how many 10th graders do we have, or will be 10th graders in the room? They're sitting on the front row. Okay, all right, I like it, I like it. How about 11th grade? Okay, now going into 11th, okay. And then going into 12th, how many seniors we have? Yeah, sit in the back row, boys, okay. One ninth grader? Shadowing, where? All right, that's awesome. Glad to have you here. You betcha, I'm looking forward to it. So what we're going to do right now, this will probably be the longest meeting you'll have, but I want you to get an impact. Hey, come here. All right, there we go. This is cool, isn't it? So I want you to get an idea of what this city's about. We have over 600 employees. It's a big business, okay? We provide all the services for you and your home right through these. And these are the department leaders for the city of Jonesboro, and I'd like each and every one of them just kind of give you a quick overview of what they do, and you might find an interest there with them as well. But I've asked them to make it as enjoyable as they can, and obviously Larry has done a good job with animal rescue, so I love it. So anyway, but I'm looking forward to it, y'all. All right, so we'll start. Miss Shelley?
I've asked all of the directors from our different departments to come and give you guys just a real brief overview of what they do. I know when I first started for the city, I had no idea the amount of work and effort and care that goes into this city. I think that you all might be surprised as well. So they're going to give you all a real brief explanation of what their different departments do. And if you don't mind to hold your questions off until the end, then I will help you. And if I don't have the answers, I will get them for you. So our first director, I believe, is Larry with Animal Control. And I'll just let y'all take turns after Larry.
Hey, how's everyone doing? I'm Larry Rogers. I am the director over Animal Control. I've been with the city of Jonesboro for 34 years now. 34 of those years, I just recently retired from the police department. So, and the mayor asked me if I would stay on and continue what I do with Animal Control, which is the job I enjoy tremendously. Your animal control here is not a dog pound, okay? That is the dog pound. Those people are untrained individuals that just catches dogs. Our animal control officers here, they're trained, they're cruelty investigators. Yes, they do pick up dogs, as you can see, and they pick up dogs, but they also investigate all animal bites, which is required by the state. Any animal bite at all, they investigate and everything. We have ordinances here on vicious and dangerous dogs. We go to court over these type of things. We work hand in hand with the health department. So it's a pretty major organization out there. At this moment, we have right at 130 dogs out there. So it's very taxing on the people that works there. I have 4 wonderful girls that are my kennel masters out there right now, and they do everything they can to keep the dogs happy and healthy and everything. One of the things that I look forward to with maybe y'all can help us out is to reach out more. People see our Facebook and everything, but we want more Facebook ideas. How we can reach the younger crowds and the younger generations and everything. And, you know, I'd like input on our Facebook and stuff. Also, one of the things we do is we're very community oriented, just like you're doing a community oriented task right now. We're very community oriented at Animal Control. We do low cost vaccination clinics. We do low cost neuter clinics for cats. And we would like y'all to help us out with that if you'd like, you know. With the clinics, we can always use extra help, and it's something to go in there and to neuter 50 or 60 cats in one day's time. But I mean, it's one of these things that we're cutting down on the population, and we help the people. So that's one of those good things. And another thing I've seen is Animal Control is needing, and this part has to do with doing computer work, and us older people, we're not that great on the computer like you guys are. So we would like to, some of the departments already have pamphlets, but maybe get together and come out and photograph the dogs and do a pamphlet for us, a trifold pamphlet that we can hand out when we're going places and stuff, and tell us what our services actually are, what we do and everything. We look forward to you coming out there and seeing the place. We're not gonna use you as cleaning up or anything like that, so don't get scared. What I really want though is, like I said, for y'all to have a good time out there, but to use your expertise and stuff, and to see how we can get these dogs adopted, because we're picking them up all the time. Last Friday, in one day, 15 of them was turned over to us. And we've got to have, if we can't find them homes, then you know, unfortunate things happen. So we have to really try our hardest right now, you know, to find these animals home. And I brought 2 cute little puppies, but we've got a lot of gorgeous older dogs out there too, and they need the love and they need a home too. So y'all think about it, think what you can do for us and everything, and if you can help me out with that, okay? And I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Larry.
Good afternoon. I'm Ron Shaver. I'm the Director of Maintenance for the City of Jonesboro. Unlike Larry, I'm younger. I've only been here 18 years. He's a lot older than I am. That's why he's been with the city so long. Do y'all feel comfortable? That's one of the things we do. We maintain the air conditioning and everything for the City of Jonesboro. I have 6 people in the department, including myself. We maintain just about all city-owned properties, whether it's heat, whether it's air, painting, moving furniture, you name it. That's what we do. But we enjoy it sometimes. Sometimes we don't, kind of like what y'all do in school. Sometimes you enjoy it, sometimes you don't. One of the things that we do, we help out with Winter Wonderland in the wintertime. And they're always looking for volunteers in the winter to help with Winter Wonderland. So any of you in the wintertime, you don't have anything to do on Christmas break, I know where you can go. So, and you can get that done through Shelley. But ultimately, that's what we do. We have, like the mayor said, about 600 and something employees in the city. They're all our boss. If they got a complaint, they turn it in, we go take care of it, whether it's moving their office furniture, whether it's the air conditioner's not working, the plumbing fixture's not done, they need a wall painted. That's pretty much what we do. And like I said, I've got HVAC technicians. We've got painters that's called maintenance technicians. Not only do they paint, they do everything. And sometimes we have to sub stuff out if they don't have the knowledge of the particular things that we're doing in the heat and air system or whatever. But ultimately, that's what we do. We don't deal as much with the public as the rest of the directors do, because they deal with the public pretty well on a daily basis. We deal with these folks here, you know, and that's what we want to do, and we like doing it. Sometimes, you know, I'm nervous. If I'm talking nervous because the mayor jumped on to me earlier about wanting to eat. So that would be one of the things which bother me right now. No, I'm just kidding. Do y'all have any questions for me about what we do? If you don't, we have some applications, because I'm looking for some help right now, and I'll be glad to get y'all one. Be glad to get y'all one. But anyway, that's what we do. We maintain city-owned properties, whether it's the ballparks, the bathrooms, you name it, and that's what we do in our department.
Foundation of the Arts building.
Yeah, we do that. We do the senior citizens. We do the United Way building. We do a lot of the buildings that we do, other than just the city. I mean, it's city-owned, but it's other departments that's dealing with it, the fine arts, the senior citizens, and the United Way of Jonesboro. And they also have the downtown association within their building. So we take care of that. Matter of fact, we just replaced the air conditioner for them. Mayor hadn't paid for it yet, but we replaced it. So anyway, that's what we do for the city of Jonesboro. And like I said, we're the maintenance department for the city. So if y'all want a job, come see me.
Fridays, go ahead and take that puppy home with me. Hi, my name is Carol Duncan, and I'm city attorney for the city of Jonesboro. My office is not located in this building. We're over at 410 West Washington, which is where the police department used to be, but part of the police department still there. What I do, our office, I have 4 staff members in my office. There's an assistant city attorney, a paralegal, and a secretary or office manager. She really does everything in the office. And we prosecute cases for the city of Jonesboro. So misdemeanor, who knows what a misdemeanor case is? Do you know what a misdemeanor is versus a felony? We prosecute misdemeanor cases for crimes that happen in the city limits of Jonesboro. We prosecute any city ordinance violation, and we prosecute traffic tickets for the city of Jonesboro. We also do ASU campus, so for Arkansas State University Police, we prosecute their cases. Other than that, we represent the city on any legal actions that the city may have. We advise all of these lovely people that you'll be talking to today. We advise all the department directors and the city council, the mayor's office, anybody like that that has a question, a legal question of any kind. We help draft, review city ordinances and resolutions. What else do we do? That's about everything that we do. We meet with the public a lot in my office. We have a lot of students. How old are y'all? Y'all are all ages, right? So we have a lot of students that come in shadow pre-COVID. We've had a lot of people come and watch us in court. COVID kind of made everything weird as far as your ability to come watch us in court. But any of you that are interested, you can just let Michelle know that you might be interested in coming over and watching a court date. We'll try to find one that might be interesting. It's hard to know. But we'd be happy to have you come over and see what we do. Good enough? You're welcome.
Hi, everybody. My name is April Leggett. I am the city clerk, and I was elected to this office and started at the beginning of this year, but I've worked for the city since 2016 in the city clerk's office. It's me and 2 other people. I have a deputy city clerk and an office manager. We're located right outside of the chambers. When you come in the back door, you'll see a hallway, and there's the vault, which everybody thinks there's money in there. It's not money. There is a lot of paper. I don't know how much that would actually be worth to people, but it's interesting to look at because this building used to be a bank building, but we're right outside of that. Our office is right next door to it, so we can go into the vault when we need to look up some ordinance or resolution and get a copy for the public. And we've gone from paper. This book that I brought with me is from 1911, and it was compiled by Charles Frierson, which is a relative of our current council member that is on the very end. I wish they were here so you could see them all. He sits on the very end, and they sit by ward and position. We have 12. We have 12 council members. There's 6 wards, and there's 2 in each ward. Where technically we have elections every 4 years, the city has elections every 2 years because we don't want a whole new council all at the same time. We don't want everyone learning and coming in and not feeling comfortable enough to get business done. So every 2 years, there's an election, and they switch from either Ward 1 or Ward 2. The mayor and city clerk are elected on every 4 years as well, and it's set with the presidential election. So anytime there's a presidential election, we'll be up for election. And the city attorney is 2 years, and she'll be up if she has, she's 4 years, but her term is yes, it's in 2 years. It'll be up. We have come a long way from a little bit of paperwork to a lot of paperwork. Our city was incorporated February 10th, 1883. This book was in April 1911. This book here is our heavy book, not as heavy as some of the other books that we have, but this is our code of ordinances. This book contains the laws of the city of Jonesboro. And while this is useful, and we do look at it from time to time, I like to have things that are actual in a physical existence that I can touch. We also use computerized, and you can go to jonesborolegistar.com and you can look up these instead of having to flip through pages. What the city clerk's office does, this is my seat most of the time. We take a record of city council meetings. To give you an example of, since I've been here, in 2016, we had 100 meetings, and this was just city council or city council committee meetings. We had 100 in 2016, 99 in 2017, 86 in 2018, 79 in 2019, 81 in 2020, and 40 within 6 months of this year. And I believe the reason why we had more meetings in 16 and 17 is we had some more controversial issues that were coming about. We had some more controversial rezonings and some salary schedule changes, so we had more meetings. You would have thought it would have dropped more in 2020, but we were here, we were working, we were doing our job. Just a quick fact update with the census.gov for 2019, Jonesboro had a population of 78,394. That may change. Our wards and our boundaries may change based on the census population. We're having to wait for that information. Jonesboro is a first-class city of over 50,000 people. We have a first-class city, and we have a mayor council form of government. The mayor does not vote unless he has to vote to break a measure, to pass a measure. He can't vote in the negative. He can only vote in the affirmative or abstain from voting. And some really interesting information that I found out of this book, this old book, was just some little tidbits. It was illegal to hitch your horse on Main Street or around the court square for longer than 30 minutes, which when I think about that, I think if you had to hitch your horse, it's going to take you a lot longer than 30 minutes. And how long is your business going to take? And that was March 20th of 1911. And another one is a scavenger shall receive 25 cents for his services for cleaning any closet or skivvy each time that's done. So 25 cents to clean an outhouse. And that was in 1903. But we are here to help you anytime that you need help. Just call us, and I wish you luck. And I'm so thankful that you're getting involved. That has been something that I always tell people is you get involved, stay involved, and you can make a difference in your community. Thank you.
Hey, good afternoon. My name's Mike Tyner. I'm the Director of the Quality of Life and Code Enforcement Unit with the City of Jonesboro. We fall under the Police Department. Our main area of focus is enforcing city ordinances. And that entails everything from tall grass and junk vehicles and debris in the yard, trash, and derelict houses. Our job is to go out. I have 5 officers that work for me that they're on a normal patrol route, just like a regular police officer would be, and they go out to either answer complaint calls or to identify ordinance violations and work with folks to get those taken care of. One of the recourses of that is we also will issue citations and work with Carol to get those prosecuted in district court as a misdemeanor violation. I work closely with Mr. Renshaw in the inspections department, where our responsibility is to go out and take a look at houses that have fallen into disrepair or buildings that have fallen into disrepair and get those started on the condemnation process, which involves contacting the homeowner and notifying them of the deficiencies that need to be taken care of, and giving them a time frame to do that. And if they fail to do that, then we bring it before our Public Safety Committee here in the council chambers to review it and then forward it on to City Council, where the council will step in and condemn the property, and at which time the person still has the option to repair it, or I end up hiring a contractor to have it removed. We deal with a lot of neighborhood associations. One of the big things I'm pushing for, and I like to see a group of young people in here, is building community relationships inside the neighborhoods. I've only got 5 guys to cover the 82 square miles of city we've got, so they stay pretty busy, especially this time of year. Tall grass and junk in the yard is a ongoing process. So being able to, especially young people, I'm 42 and I've got a 5-year-old that has to show me how to unlock my phone. So technology changes faster than I can keep up with it. Being a young generation, I'm still the old walking around handing out flyers, where you can cover more ground than I can in 3 seconds with a social media post than spending all day.
Keep talking.
Don't be distracted. Don't be
Might have moderate ADHD too. But no, our job is to keep the city a safe and clean place, because we want people to stay here, live here, work here, raise a family here. So we're doing our part to try and keep things cleaned up and as nice and safe as possible. One of the other functions that my department has is in the event of a natural disaster like the recent tornado that we had, we act as the city's liaison to coordinate and plan the cleanup and recovery efforts. We work to organize city, state, county resources in conjunction with a lot of the large national aid organizations, the Red Cross, Samaritan's Purse, the Southern Baptist Association, to get people help that they need, either debris removal and coordinating all the heavy equipment and labor for that. So it's a little bit everything that kind of a catch-all sometimes. So if anybody have any questions? No? Thank you.
Thank you, bud.
Anybody like to see somebody get tased? It's a bill. We can do a taser demo. Yeah, go ahead. Hey, good afternoon. I'm Rick Elliott. I'm the chief of police here in Jonesboro. Been your chief for the past 7 years. Been with the department going on 29 years. Been involved in law enforcement over 40. So seen a lot, done a lot of changes in law enforcement. I currently command a department of 168 sworn officers, 20 civilian. Also oversee code enforcement, animal control, the dispatch center. So out of the 600 and something employees of the city, I have about 230 of them under my command. Our budget's over $13 million. We're responsible for public safety throughout the city. Everybody have a phone? If you go to your phone, go to your phone. Throughout this process that you're going through, there's going to be a series of things that you're expected to retain at the end of this program. You're going to have to, we're going to test your knowledge and skills. Okay? So go to the Facebook, Jonesboro Police. Everybody there? Follow. Go to Instagram, TikTok, whatever. Follow, like, whatever. Okay. Now I've just increased our following, so thank you. So part of what we do besides protect and serve, we have to get information out to the community. And this is where we're looking at you. Throughout this process, those of you that like to come over to the police department and talk about ways to engage in the community with crime fighting, with the community in crime prevention, and ways to engage with the community on community outreach projects. Do we have any East Lab students? Nettleton, East Lab? Okay. We recently used Nettleton School East Lab to do some videos on what to do on traffic stops. What are you supposed to do when you're stopped by the police? So some of these little promo videos, we're certainly like to look at during this time, bringing y'all in and let you participate in helping script out a video, participate in the video, and put that project out on our social media. So at the end of the course, again, if you want to be involved with the police department, which is the most exciting of all of this, but we welcome you to come over, and we like to gather your thoughts. So we depend on the younger generation. Rachel Carmack Anderson handles my social media, and we started out with Facebook just a little over 2 years ago, and we're at 50,000 followers right now. So yeah, kudos to her. That's not me. I'm not a social media person. I don't have social media, any of it. I'm old school, but I depend on the younger generation to help get the information out there. So anything that JPD does, we put it out on Facebook. So if it's a critical incident, then we feed that information in real time as things go on. Otherwise, the daily events is all out there. You can go to jonesboropolice.com, and all of our monthly stats are available. So you can see how many accident reports and how many calls we answer. Last month, we had around 360 accidents on the street. So when we talk about public service announcements about distracted driving and driving impaired, this is why we run these things, because people like to get on their cell phone and check Facebook and whatever going down the road and run into people, right? Did you experience that? One of you two? You look guilty, I'm just saying. I mean, I can spot guilty look a mile away, and y'all are guilty about something. But anyway, that's another class that we can get into. But you know, you don't realize what's involved in police work. You know, we're averaging 5,000 to 6,000 calls for service a month. So there's a lot that goes on in Jonesboro. You can look at all of our crime stats and see where our crime compared from this year to last year to the years before. And what you'll see in the trend for the past 10, 15 years, our crime stats have remained fairly consistent across the board. Only a slight increase in certain areas. But the population of Jonesboro has grown over 15,000 people in the past 10, 15 years. So with that kind of population increase and the fact that our crime rates remain pretty consistent, that means, you know, we're doing a pretty good job along with the community in keeping crime down in Jonesboro. But it is a community effort, so it takes people being engaged with us to help solve crime. Just like on our social media, last year we cleared 170 cases through social media by posting suspect pictures on our Facebook asking, can you identify this individual? So 170 times we cleared those cases. So that's people getting engaged with us and the community by following us. We have some exciting plans coming up on the future with technology. We currently have 12 Sky Cops throughout the city. We want to add more cameras to our system, and we're going to a real-time crime center concept. And basically, a lot of our major intersections will be recorded, and as things happen, we're able to pull the video and piece things back together. These cameras have analytics, so if I need to search for a particular vehicle or license plate, we can go through and search the system. So that's a big, huge component that you'll see when you come over that we're putting together and be going forward with the council pretty soon. So there's a lot to talk about. I won't take up these guys' times, but you have any questions for me? Okay, if not, I think There will be breakout opportunities at some point in time. I don't know if they're the afternoons or evenings or whatever you want to time you need to group together. We'll certainly accommodate it, and we'll be glad to get Rachel in. And if there's any specialty breakouts that you want to talk about as far as the police department, we'll be glad to sit down with you and accommodate that also. If you want to get into CSI stuff or some of the other things that we do, we'll be glad to entertain that also. So, all right, thank you.
I just want to point out, he's been trying to tase me for 5 years and hasn't caught me yet, so I'm pretty nimble. Anyway, I'm Bill Campbell. I'm the Communications Director. Watch him for me, will you? We're a 3-person department, and there's a lot going on. A lot of the departments in this, including the police department in this city, are what other cities would consider understaffed. So you can't do more with less. People talked about that. I don't know if you have to hear that from your teachers or whatever, your parents or whoever's tried to sell you that, but just nod when they say it, because you try to do the best you can do, and then you figure out efficiencies to do things better and take care of the problems that you face and the needs that you have. We have a TV studio with a government channel. I know you guys are all watching Channel 24 at night, right, before you go to bed, because if you are, you're the youngest viewer we've got. And my staff is in the production room right now. No, not my staff, the communications department staff, and it's Cam Robinson and Brandon Carter, and they handle all the tech stuff, all the social media, everything that we do, video and whatever, and we post information. In fact, I think they're in there making TikToks. They've got cameras on you guys right now, so watch yourself. As they're making, yeah, Christy's going to be on one for sure. So we post a lot of information and guidelines for the public, as well as arrange interviews for the news media, do press releases, do information when you hear about things coming out of the city of Jonesboro that your government's doing for you. We're who it comes from. Are any of you guys on social media? Who's the best social media person in this room? Uh-oh. What you got? I mean, do you no? Okay. Well, where do you want to find your information? You know, what we found, and this is through the past, not the future. You guys are the future. This has been a Facebook town. I have lived in, I started to say TikToks. I have not lived in TikTok town. I have lived in Twitter towns. I have seen different places, different platforms work for different people. And the hardest thing to do when you're running social media is figure out what platform you need to be on. And what do you guys, everybody say it all at once, what's your favorite platform? I heard all of them, I think there, yeah. So that's what we have to do. See, the challenge for us is meeting you on the platform where you, did you know somebody told me yesterday that they'd never heard of Craighead Forest Park, lived here 10 years, never heard of Craighead Forest Park? Is that ridiculous? Yeah, so that's the trouble we face. You never know how many times you have to say something to get the word out, you know, to make people understand. You know, we can tell you that we don't have, or we operate off 1 penny. The mayor will tell you one of the hardest things he faces is managing 1 penny of your sales tax that comes to the city. You know, when you buy something, you pay what, 9.5% sales tax? 8.5. Well, if we get it right, we could be 9.5. But 8.5% sales tax. Well, 1 penny of that comes to the city. That pays all those people's salaries. They're taking up all your money right there, just in that corner. So once you do that, you've got 500 and something employees. They're pissed at me now. Look at them. But there is a lot of ways to stretch a dollar that we have to communicate. We have to let the people know we are using the best, doing the best job of using their tax dollar. And that is what lends trust in your government. You hear about transparency in government. That is what transparency is. It's letting people know that you are managing their money the best way, because you don't pay that 8.5% thinking, what's the government going to do with this money? But you want to see results. You want to see roads that don't have potholes. You want to see yards that are clean and well kept. You want to know that everything that you require of your daily operation, you would like to go down the street at a normal rate of speed and catch a good light, right? You want the lights to match up. If they don't, call me. I know who to hook you up with. But that's our whole goal in communications, is to make sure people understand what they've got. And when there's a problem, that we get to the people that can solve it, because seriously, these guys over here are the ones who do resolve all the problems that come and go through Jonesboro. And there aren't as many as you would think, because they do such good work. So before we stop, I want everybody, how many of you have the ability for me to send you something through AirDrop? Put your AirDrop on. I'm going to send everybody this photo of the chief with his next K9.
He got you.
All right. You guys got it? Anybody left? Nah, I'm just making sure I got everybody. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thanks, Joe.
Hello, everyone. My name's Scott Baxter. I'm a captain with the Jonesboro Police Department, and I've been with the city for almost 32 years. Look at the date real quick. Actually, 31 years, 5 months, and 29 days as of today. It's pretty easy to figure because I started January 1st of 90, so you just take one away from the month and year. But I'm here to visit with you about E911. And while E911 is its own department and has its own department head, it falls under the umbrella of the police department. And the 911 director retired. His last day was today. And during the day today, that falls under my purview, I guess, at the police department as the special operations captain. So during the day today, I've been visiting with Jeff Presley, who's the retiring 911 director, and kind of going over where we're at with everything and during this transition and what needs to be done, that kind of thing. This being his last day. And about, an hour and a half, 2 hours ago, he says, oh, by the way, you're going to be giving a presentation here in a little while. So here we are. But I pulled some stats real quick, just kind of give you an overview of what the E911 Center does. It's a 911 center, of course. It's a dispatch center. Our dispatch center, while it's operated by the city and falls under the umbrella of the police department, it's a county-wide dispatch center. There are 23 employees that does dispatching services and call-taking services within the center. Those 23 employees take over 250,000 calls per year. Now that's calls that come in on the phone, calls that come in from officers over the radio, making traffic stops and things like that. But 23 employees doing 250,000 calls a year. It's pretty busy center. There'll be anywhere from 3 to 6 dispatchers in the center at any given time, taking those calls and taking care of the officers and the firefighters that are doing their business, as well as dispatching for a lot of our ambulance services and things like that. So again, it's a very, very busy center. And it's more than, the dispatchers are more than just taking calls and relaying information. They do a lot of data entry, a lot of data research as far as they're checking when officers are getting out on calls or getting out with vehicles and things like that. The dispatcher in the background is constantly running stuff and checking stuff, and they're running to see if the vehicle they're getting out with is stolen, or if it has any kind of, if the people they're dealing with has any kind of warrants or any kind of felony records or dangerous people, something they should be aware of. So there's a lot of things going on in addition to all those calls that they're trying to deal with. They're very, very busy. They have, when we hire a dispatcher, they will typically go into training for about 3 months before they're really out on their own. And that's just to get the very, very basics. All of our dispatchers are certified. They're certified through the state to have that designation. And it's pretty extensive training. So the city invests a lot of money in getting those dispatchers trained to do their job and to do it well. Our dispatch center has won awards for its technology and for its training that it does. We're very proud of that. We want to maintain that. There's been some mention of cost of things. You know, a city this size, and you can imagine a dispatch center, the radio technology we have and the computer technology we have. We're tapping into databases nationwide and even in some cases overseas. So the technology is just incredible. And technology, as you're well aware, is constantly advancing, oftentimes faster than we can keep up with. Our dispatch center over there has about 1.25 million in just equipment dollars, you know, $1.2 million in equipment in there. We're looking at doing about another $175,000 upgrade just later this year with our next generation 911. I mean, it's constantly changing, constantly advancing. The technology is just always ongoing, and trying to keep up with that is very difficult. But that's your tax dollars, and that fee that you'll see on your 911 fees on your phone bill, your cell phone bills. That's what helps support that and fund that. It's very expensive. Of course, we're a public safety answering point. We also use rapid SOS system to track cell phones in emergency situations. That's very interesting technology. Depending on what kind of phone you have, we can track you down to within just a few feet of where you're at in some cases. So that's very helpful if you call 911 and need help and maybe you can't tell us where you're at, or you're unable to for some reason. That helps us to track you and figure out where you're at and be able to help send help to you. Our budget every year is about 1.8 million, I believe. So in addition to all the equipment, just the ongoing fees and stuff that we have to pay and to do the upgrades and all that, it's a pretty big operation for a small dispatch center. But that's kind of the brief overview of what we do. I mean, they dispatch, the dispatchers actually dispatch for, I mentioned earlier, countywide. It's a city operation, but they dispatch countywide. So they do city police department, they'll dispatch for them. They keep up with all the police officers making traffic stops or getting out on calls. They dispatch for the sheriff's department, same thing. They dispatch for our city fire department. They dispatch for all of the county volunteer fire departments. They dispatch for all the local municipalities in the county like Bono Bay, Brooklyn, Monette, you know, even the Eastern District cities. So they have while it's a city operation, they do a lot more beyond the city. And so they're very, very busy. And I think just as an overview, that's the best I can think of offhand. Do y'all have any questions of me? Well, it's good that y'all are participating in this. It's very exciting. So I'm glad I got to come visit with you. And if you think of anything, be sure and reach out anytime, holler. I'll be glad to try and answer any questions I can.
Thank you, Scott.
Hi, I'm Craig Light. I'm the Director of Engineering, and I'd apologize. My presentation is going to be very short. I have to meet with some property owners at 5 o'clock, so to be very brief about what engineering department does. We have a couple of designated roles. We Primarily, we concentrate on stormwater and flooding issues in the city, and then traffic operations. So the traffic signals fall under my department, traffic signage, not the people that put the signs up, but what signs go where and stuff like that my department handles. But another thing that we do is we help all the other departments. We're the technical branch for every other project that's going on. We're currently building a new facility, the Veterans Village project over here on Aggie Road. We're highly involved with that project. We're building a new facility for the police department out by animal control. We're building a new facility for our facilities maintenance crew out at our public works site. So any sort of public works construction project we get involved with. We manage those design contracts, and they're involved with the design process to get those facilities developed and out to bid and under construction and completed and into use by the city. So we get involved with a whole lot of things. And I spent a lot of my time dealing with Carol Duncan in our attorney's office. It seems like I fall over there quite a bit. And oddly enough, and I'm sure most of you don't know this, but the city owns 6 miles of railroad. We are actually owned railroad out in our industrial park. I found out that we owned that some 14 years ago when we had a derailment. A train came off the tracks, and we had to figure out how to get the train back on the tracks. So since that time, we've done a lot of upgrades to our railroad facility. We're currently doing a $6 million upgrade to our railroad facility right now, building a rail yard out in the industrial park. So that should help with industrial growth in Jonesboro. So we get involved in the engineering with a whole lot of different stuff. But I would like at some point to come back and talk more about the specific projects, trail projects and parks projects that we get involved with. But fortunately, I have to run off. But thank you all for being here.
With the finance department. So I'm the one that left y'all the packages in your chair. So kind of sum all of this up. This is our 2021 budget. You can see on the top it says Mayor Harold Perrin. We do this budget, it has to be passed by January of that year. So Perrin was the actually did this budget. Cope's gonna do the next one, so I'm real excited about that. But it kind of shows you the big ticket items that we spend money and get money in on. Our revenues are $70.5 million a year. We spend $78.5 million a year. Kind of gives you the breakdown as far as which department spends what. There's 7 people in the finance department full-time, and we got 2 part-time people. On a normal payroll, we usually have about 667 full-time and part-time employees that we handle the money side of, which gross pay of that is about $1.1 million every 2 weeks. We also, any department that spends money in the city, it goes through our department. So if like the Parks Department wants to go buy a new lawnmower, unfortunately they just can't go buy it. You'll see in the package here, we have a list of what they have to do in order to go buy that lawnmower. So with us being a municipality, there's certain guidelines that we have to follow in order to go and spend money. Any money that comes into the city, regardless if it's a direct deposit, cash, check, however that is, it comes through our department. So pretty much that's a quick overview of how our department works. So anybody that's kind of a money person that likes working with Excel, definitely reach out to us. We'd love to have a little sub meeting with you guys. My business card is on top, so if y'all ever have any questions, you can feel free to call me or shoot me an email. Okay, thanks guys.
Afternoon. Afternoon. There we go. At least y'all are still awake. I won't take up too much of your time. I'm Kevin Miller with the fire department. Real simple, the fire department is exactly that, the fire department. We respond to emergencies. Real quick, there's going to be a test at the end of this, so you might want to take notes. The city of Jonesboro is made up of roughly 82 square miles. We are the second largest city in the state square mileage-wise. The only city bigger than us square mileage is Little Rock, all right? We have 7 stations that surround the city with 124 full-time staff when we're fully staffed. And we operate out of those stations with 7 engine companies and 3 ladders. But we respond to pretty much all fire, rescue, and medical emergencies. The 911 department, you just talked about how many calls they have coming in. Roughly about 7,000 calls a year are funneled to the fire department. And that covers, like I said, fire, medical, vehicle accidents with injuries, anything that has to do with that line. So we have a lot of calls and stay pretty busy throughout the course of the year. Now, going back to that 82 square miles, 7 fire stations in the city of Jonesboro. Fayetteville, you hear a lot of talk about Fayetteville, Conway. Just to give you a little bit of comparison, the city of Fayetteville is roughly 55 square miles. They have 9 fire stations in 55 square miles. Conway has 7 fire stations in roughly 38 square miles. We have 7 fire stations in how many? Very good, 82 square miles. That's a lot of territory to cover. Population is roughly, we're estimating our census to come out pretty soon, we're going to be around 80,000 population. On any given day, we have roughly 120,000 people that come into town, all the bedroom communities and surrounding areas that come, work, shop, and play here in Jonesboro. And they're all sitting in line at Chick-fil-A or Shadrack's every morning, all right? So we have 120,000 people that are in this town that are under that umbrella of protection that we have to provide for them, whether it's fire, police, everything that's involved in that aspect. So it's quite extensive, Jonesboro being the hub of Northeast Arkansas. And that's what we want it to be for all those people to come in here. Here's where I need y'all's help. Like every other department you're hearing, things that are going around the city, recruitment. We are trying to get people involved in the fire service and trying to apply for positions. I've got a couple openings right now. We're going through our testing process right now. And we just recently dropped the hiring age down to 18. So now 18 years of age. What I need help with is getting that message out to the next generation. Obviously, I'm a little bit older. I'm not the tech savvy person that Bill Campbell is. So I'm needing pointers and help on how we can get that message out to the next generation for people who might be interested in applying and becoming to be a member of the Jonesboro Fire Department. So if that's your homework assignment that I'm going to ask for y'all to help us with over the course of this process that y'all are doing. Thank you for your time.
Hey guys, how are y'all this afternoon, or this evening, I guess I would say. My name's Regina Burkett. I'm over grants and community development here with the city of Jonesboro. And I want to let you all know a little bit about what we do in my department. We're also called the money department. Anytime anybody wants money or wants to have money to do a project, they come to us and say, can y'all find us this money? So anyway, we do research, we write grants, we do the reporting, we do the grant management, we do all that in our department. We have 4 staff members and 1 part-time person and 1 intern right now that's helping us with all that. So I wanted to let you know that we wrote about $25 million worth of grants last year. That's a lot of money for us to have to go through. And I think that Bill Campbell was telling you about, not Bill Campbell, but Craig Light, the engineering department, was telling you about the Veterans Village. So I brought a poster up so y'all could see what we're doing there. It's going to be a transitional home for homeless veterans. And it's taken about close to $2.5 million to build this. We have 9 cottages there. We have 2 that are 2-bedroom, 1 that are, the rest are 7 that are 1-bedroom. And we're going to be working with ASU on who will be staying in these, who'll get to stay there. It's transitional, so they'll be there. The homeless veteran will be there for somewhere around a year to 18 months. They'll have different classes and supportive services that they'll have to go through while they're living there. And we hope when they move out that they'll be able to return to a normal life. So if any of y'all ever want to help, we're going to be needing mentors and different things like that to help there at the village. So we would love for y'all to come out and help. on that. Also, I want to tell you all that we are an entitlement city. That means we have over 50,000 people in our city. Therefore, we receive, we just have an allocation of a certain amount of money that we get annually from HUD. It's who we get it from. It's called the Community Block Grant, Community Development Block Grant. With that money, we help the minorities and low-income areas of town. And so we've got several projects right now that we're working on. The connectivity trail that he was talking about, the $20 million project, that will fall into some of that area, but that's going to be a game changer for the city of Jonesboro. And it's also going to offer us quality of life, because that's what we have to have. And as we write many of our grants, they want to be sure we have education, which we have wonderful education here in Jonesboro. They want to be sure that we have health care, which we're over the top on that. And right now, we need quality of life. So if we want to bring people in and we want to get new things throughout the city, we need to have quality of life, and that's what that connectivity plan is going to give us. If you want to contact anyone in my department, all you have to do is get on the website. We're all on there. If you ever want to come to an internship and help us do some research with some of the programs, if you have a thought or something you'd like to see throughout the city that you think we could get funding for, just give us a call, and we'll be happy to help you.
They're all right here, and we'll start with the front row, because you guys were brave enough to sit on the front row. Come on up and have your seats. And the restrooms are around the corner, right?
Restrooms in the back.
Need us to come help. We need
Next row, come on. We move some of this stuff. Hey, Mike, just set some over here. Those are all pepperoni. Stack of plates and napkins. If you like pepperoni, we'll put pepperoni on this side. Water and sodas over there. Those are all pepper.
Assistant Chief.
Well, I promised to get you all out of here by about 6 o'clock. So is it okay if I let them keep talking so that once they're done, we can get to business while y'all eat? Is that okay? All right. I think next is Dwayne, Human Resources. You want to talk to these guys? Tell them what you do. And please just come over and get anything else you want from us.
Yeah, I get you with your mouth full. Look at there. I'm Dwayne Douglas. I'm the HR Director for Human Resources, and who knows what that is? Well, a few more than I get, okay? Most of you are sophomores, it looks like about to be seniors, who probably have had a job somewhere in town, filled out the application, and went through the hiring process and stuff like that. Nod your head if you've been through that. Well, that's mainly what we do. You may want to work with one of these great departments here, but your career usually with the city will start and end in human resources. We help you with your application process. Once you fill out your application online, then I get it into the hands of the hiring manager. I post those jobs online on the website, try to promote it, try to recruit. We go to job fairs. We try to advertise our positions so you want to come and work for the city of Jonesboro. We have a department of 3 who handles, like, once you're onboarded, then we help you with your benefits. If you're a full-time employee, Sometimes it's part-time. Maybe you just need a summer job or a part-time position working 20 hours a week. We have those in parks and other departments as well. We also do internships. You can volunteer with the city. A lot of different aspects you can come within the city and learn about the city. We do job shadowing. Sometimes I go into the schools and I talk to students and their teachers and things like that and explain about, how to build a resume. How many of you have built a resume? Are you prepared to do that? How many have done mock interviews? Okay, I can help you with that. Sometimes we help prepare to send you out into the workplace, okay? So that's kind of what Human Resources does for the city. So if you ever want a job or want to see what we do, please come see me. I welcome you to sit down with you and explain what the city and how to help you in your career. I've got 2 internships with me right now. They're college ASU students that are doing internships, and they get college credit for that, okay? So once you get in school, and if you want to take that as a class, you can come spend time in our department learning about human resources. So thank you for your time.
Good afternoon. I'm Jason Ratliff. I'm the IT director here, and we're pretty much responsible for the installing and maintaining of the computer system and the network. We work with every department here. Now, most people breaks down IT into 2 different categories. That's usually hardware and software. But there's a third one now that's coming along, and that's pretty much security. I'll start with the hardware. That'll start with your connectivity, whether you're connecting the buildings. And we have over 20 sites here in the city of Jonesboro. Whether you're connecting the buildings with fiber or a cellular technology or some type of radio technology, any way to get the data connectivity in there. Workstations, of course, that consists computers, laptops, tablets, and every one of those has something that's plugged into them, whether it's a printer or nowadays, even with everybody working remotely, you could have a camera that's connected to it. Desk phones, cell phones, we have over 500 desk phones and cell phones. The software, we have many pieces of software. Some of them specialize, just one function for a department. Sometimes multiple departments will use a software, and then of course, there's software that all departments use. Part of that software is licensing, managing the licensing, making sure we're in compliance, that we have a paid license for that piece of software, and usually that changes every year. The other part is that security I'm talking about. That starts when a person even gets hired. You're going to have to set them up a user account. You're going to have to make sure they have a password, of course, and granting them the rights and the permissions to access certain items like files and folders. We have to check the logs every day. Just as far as security, you wouldn't imagine how many times there's hackers from all over the world that just test your network to see if there's any holes that they could get in. The other part that we've kind of started the last, I believe, 3 or 4 years ago is something called security awareness. So we actually are training our users to be have the network security in mind, so they know what to look for in case the hackers try to get by them. They're the front line of defense. So usually these things come in as emails. You probably know, links, attachments, and there's certain key factors in there that you can kind of just see. There's something out of the ordinary that's not right. Even though they're very good at faking these emails, there's usually some key factor in there that you could see. The other part is policies and procedures. Those keep us functioning. We have standards that we set if we set up a new building or a new Wi-Fi network. We set our own standards to make sure that it's all secure and operational. These are some of the tools that you may see some of our technicians use. This is literally to check a line to see if it has a dial tone. Usually this is older technology we have, but believe it or not, there are still some fax lines out there. And even point of sales, they usually use an analog The other tool, this is to track down where cables are. We actually also run the cables in the building. You would imagine how many cables actually goes across up under above these ceilings and then down the wall. And sometimes it's hard to find the other end of the cable, so literally they'll stick this in the port right there and turn it on, and the little toner can actually find that cable. So that's just one of many tools the team uses. Other than that, that's all I've got. Keep it short and sweet, and thank you.
Darrell, but we use that a lot. Hey guys, my name is Tim Renshaw. I'm with the Inspections Department, and we do exactly just the name of the department. We do inspections. You may see everywhere you go within the city, you'll see some type of construction, whether it be a new house or a new commercial building. My department will go out and do the inspections on the building or house. My department's made up of master electricians, Class A HVAC, and master plumbers, as well as building inspectors. We start with the plan review process. This is just an example of the size of a plan. This here is a commercial plan, but not only do we get commercial plans and we have to review these and everything that comes in them, the MEPs, the mechanical, the electrical, the heat and air. And this is actually not a large one, this is a small one. But everyone gets involved in that. We do, the planning department, fire marshals, engineering, we all get to look at that, as well as our utility company, City Water and Light, make sure that where they're wanting to build these new buildings, it's allowed to go there as far as the zoning goes. The mechanicals are correct. We get to review those and make sure they're right. They're stamped by an engineer, an architect. So that's just an example of a plan. That, like I said, it is a commercial plan. We average about 400 single-family homes a year. That gives you an idea of how busy we are. My department has 4 inspectors that covers all the construction within the city. It sounds a little far-fetched, and it is, but they burn up the streets every day, putting a lot of miles on the vehicles, using a lot of gas. But anyway, we are, like I said, if anyone's interested in a trade, whether it be plumbing, electrical, heat and air, it's something that is never going to go away. We talk about technology and everything advancing there, but our plumbing, our electrical, our heat and air, those sources are never going to, they're never going to go away. So it's a trade that a lot of you, I'm sure, are going to go to college, but you also can go 4 years to a trade school and be at least a journeyman for a few years and then earn your master's after that. But it's a good field. It's never going to go away. You can go to work for the city afterwards to either work for our department possibly, or Ronnie that was here earlier with the maintenance department. Those guys are always needing help as well. But it's, trade schools are great. The inspection department, we stay busy all the time. And we would love anyone that was interested in a trade, whether it be either one of the trades I mentioned, if y'all would want to come over at any time and just kind of see what our inspectors do on a daily basis. We could even arrange a ride along or something if you really wanted to get out in the field and see what they do. But it's very interesting. We start from the footing on a house. They go out and do the footing inspections, and then the rough end plumbing happens then. Then they'll pour a slab, and then the walls go up. Then, of course, the electrical goes in after that. HVAC goes in. We go out and do the inspections on all those as they're moving along. And this all takes, several months to do, but there's so many going on at one time. It is a very busy schedule. But there again, If anybody's interested in a trade and interested in seeing what we do as a city and an inspection department, you can contact Ms. Shelley and we'll get you set up to get out there and get your feet dirty, see how you like it. Anyway, that's about it.
So on that diagram that I opened up, did y'all see what industry that was? Did y'all see it? Canesville. You heard of Canesville?
Far, factory.
Factory in our community. So Nestle, we just worked with Nestle yesterday.
Colson is also building new.
And Colson, and Nestle's doing $100 million expansion to provide 100 new jobs. So they bring these planes in, the city has to do it. We have to go through the process with the council to create revenue bond tax, free up tax for them as well to be able to build this expansion, right? So we give them a lot of credit, tax credit, so they'll invest in our community. So this is just one of many. But I'm sure our city planner will tell you a little bit about how we're upgrading our technology to where these will become a thing of the past and it'll all be on the phone and things like that.
Be more down y'all's.
Just easy.
Yeah. No paper.
All right.
All right, good afternoon. My name is Michael Black. I'm the Director of Jet System for the City of Jonesboro. We are public transit. Jet started rolling back in 2006. Started out with 3 routes, expanded to 5. 2010, we had to cut back a little bit, moved back down to 3 routes. 2000, we also built our facility at the Public Works in 2010, and we started building our transit system back again. 2019, we provided 132,000 rides throughout that year. Of course, that was pre-COVID. We also provided over 12,000 paratransit trips, which we have kind of 2 different services. We have our fixed route service. We also have a paratransit, which is more of a non-emergency medical. There is a mobility challenge involved to qualify for our paratransit service. But if they qualify, we'll take them not only to doctor's appointments, but take them to Walmart or Chick-fil-A if that's where they want to go. There's just about anywhere they need to go. It is a day before reservation. So if they wanted to go somewhere tomorrow, they would have to call our office by 5 o'clock today in order to schedule that trip. Our paratransit was not affected at all by COVID. As a matter of fact, we were a little bit higher in our ridership for 2020, which was kind of surprising, but it's just the way it worked out. We employ 24 people. 14 are full-time, and I've got 10 part-time that do various things. We do all our maintenance in-house. Our largest part of our budget is salaries and fuel. And as you can imagine, as many miles as we drive a year with 5 routes, fixed route, we have 5 routes that run from 5:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. Monday through Friday. And we also have limited service on Saturdays, which is 3 routes from 9 to 4. We put a lot of miles on these streets and a lot of miles on our buses really quick. I am proud of our maintenance program. We have retired buses with over 300,000 miles on them, and they're still going pretty strong. So it's an interesting field. It's very challenging. Technology is growing very fast, and I'd like to thank Chief for the idea, but I do have a exercise for y'all. If you take out your phones, bring up your browser and just type in jet.astate.edu. When the website pops up, allow for your location to be found. And in the upper left-hand corner, you'll see a little green menu button. Push on that, and you will see we have an area there on our app that we can put our announcements on. It also states, of course, that we will provide no service on July 5th in observance of Independence Day. If you'll scroll down, you'll see all our routes. If you will click on the Route 84 weekly blue route, that's what's in service right now. Click your menu button. That will take you to the map. It will show you real time where the bus is and where you are. And this has quite a few different calculations. If you're away from a route, you can click the Find Me part. It'll show you where you are, and you can click a stop, and it'll tell you how to get there, about how long it's going to take to walk there, or a lot of information there. That's just one of the partnerships that JET has with A State. They built this website for us for our real-time bus information. So y'all being young and tech savvy, if y'all will get that out there to people, we would love to have them use it. It makes the customer experience with JETs more pleasant. When you know what time the bus is going to be there, you know, you don't have to go stand out in the heat for 20 minutes trying to guess. So if y'all would like to learn anything more about public transit, please feel free to contact me at any time. Thank you very much.
Hey, I'm Alan. I am the Mpo Director, which stands for the Metropolitan Planning Organization, or the long version of our name is the Northeast Arkansas Regional Transportation Planning Commission. But I don't like to say that when I answer the phone, so I'm with the Mpo. It's a little bit easier to say, and basically what we do is we provide comprehensive, detailed plans for transportation in the city. Basically make sure that we have a good roadway system that's safe and efficient and equitable for everyone to use. And then at the same time, make sure that we're still in compliance. That way we can receive federal funding. We don't just serve Jonesboro, we also serve Bay, Bono, Brooklyn, and parts of unincorporated Craighead. A couple of our major products that we put out, one is the MTP, it's the Metropolitan Transportation Plan. It's something we put out about every 5 years. It covers 25 years of transportation planning for the region. We have that, and then one we just completed here recently is our short-range plan, which is the Transportation Improvement Program, which sees millions of dollars come into this city every 3 or 4 years. This previous one we just put out is going to have roughly $147 million coming into the city and the other cities I mentioned as well, up through about 2024, so we can expect to see that. Aside from the major plans that we put out, if we have any additional time, we like to do secondary projects. One of those projects is our safety action plan. I completed that here recently. Basically what we did was we just kind of did an evaluation of traffic and safety data for the county, and then kind of saw where we stood based on data over the last 5 years. So we kind of looked at like fatality rates, how many accidents we're having, what was causing the accidents, sort of like what was causing the accidents. We saw we were having a lot of rear ends happening across the city, side swipes, and strangely enough, single vehicle accidents. We saw a lot of that, people just driving into just not another vehicle, just driving into something else. So just kind of a reminder, kind of pay attention when you're driving. Don't just drive into stuff. I've got copies of the summary that I've prepared for when I'm done here, if anyone would like a copy. Kind of some of our areas that we see some more accidents happening. You wouldn't be really surprised by the areas. It's areas where we have like a lot of clustering of vehicles, like along Red Wolf and Johnson. Kind of seems like where we have a fair number of accidents. But every year we have more projects coming in to try to help alleviate that and kind of mitigate those instances. Currently, we are a one-person organization. As I say I shouldn't say we. Soon we should have another person in there to make it a two-person office. We also do a lot of data work, mapping. We've also done some work in the past with the East Labs here in Jonesboro, both Valley View and Nettleton, and I believe we've done some work with Jonesboro as well. Some of these programs have done some mapping for us and some pedestrian safety videos. We had it was one junior high group here recently did a video kind of highlighting the use of Strava data. That's not us, but we utilize their data, and they knew we utilized that data, so they thought if they promoted that could help us get some of the data that we needed, and we've seen some improvement from that, so it's been very helpful. So hopefully in the future, if any of y'all would like to help with that, that would be great. We could always use ideas from you guys, ways we could improve transportation in this area. It's a really important area. But that's all I've got at the moment. If you guys would like to know a little bit more about what we do, I've got some pamphlets here and then summaries of the safety action plan. And I will leave that kind of up. I'll leave that around the pizza. Yeah.
So she said that at the right time with Parks and Rec. So they've already asked me to be really short, and I have trouble being short when I get them talk. But Danny Capalis, Jonesboro Parks and Recreation, and Cemeteries. So what does that mean? We are the one department that takes care of you womb to tomb. No laugh? Nobody? Y'all get that? Hey, I know some of you. I know quite a few of there's some people here that actually have been part of my staff or are part of my staff. So appreciate y'all being here today. Any of y'all that want to be part of Parks and Rec, you are why we do what we do. You're the reason Parks and Rec exists, so that you have a place to go to enjoy quality of life. I know Michael already used the term quality of life, but we really are quality of life. Craighead Forest, Joe Matt Campbell Parks. You go out to softball complex, Earl Bell Community Center. You look at the Earl Bell, 1936. That's when that facility was created. Craighead Forest Park, that was created in 1937. So we got some parks that was created quite a few years ago. They're in fabulous shape. Earl Bell, if you've been in there lately, you'll notice that hardwood floor, air conditioning, repainted, in really, really good shape. So we do all this to make sure that y'all have something to utilize, to make sure that you have a place to exercise or just recreate. How many of y'all use the, let's just say, hammock? Any of y'all get out in hammock? Yeah. Where do y'all go? Craighead Forest? Would it be nice to have some other locations in town to be able to go? Yeah, make sure you let us know that, because we want to find places for you to be able to get out and do that. Not only do we deal with that wreck, because that's the first thing. We want to make sure those places are safe. But the second thing is we worry about our sports programs. We have 12,000 children playing in our youth sports programs. That's a high number of population in Jonesboro. That's not just Jonesboro. That's all of Northeast Arkansas. So we bring kids from all over this area to participate because we put on some of the best programs around. That's baseball, that's football, that's soccer, that's basketball. We have cross country, we have tennis, we have all sorts of programs that we want people to be involved in. But we're also looking for programs. We look for programs that people want to be involved in. Any new niche programs you want to be part of, let us know. So I would love to have any of y'all to be on a committee working with my programs to help me figure out what direction to go. We have the Earl Bell Community Center that we love to be able to get the old stage, which is a rock wall, and we want to keep it a rock wall. But I'd love to get the old stage back usable. That way, maybe we can have, another place for community theater. Just finding an access for people to be able to utilize within the park system. I know there's going to be questions at the end, so I'm going to cut it off right there because I could go probably for an hour if y'all let me. So I'll go sit down, but please, if y'all have questions, come to me.
Good evening. My name is Darrell Smith. I'm the Director of Planning and Zoning for the City of Jonesboro. I've been here 5 years now. We're responsible for, if you're going to build anything in Jonesboro, you're going to come to the Planning Department first, whether it's a fence, a swimming pool, or a brand new factory. As you see, these sets of plans here, that's kind of a normal set. Some are even bigger than this. We are drowning in paper. What I've been trying to do is get everything digital. Been working on that for the last 18 months. So that's exactly what we're going to be working on. We work with engineering, inspections, parks, fire, water, city water and light, pretty much every department. We try to look at quality of life issues. We looked at sidewalks, we've looked at trails, we look at places for new parks, we look at construction. So anything to do with building, anything's coming to Jonesboro starts with us first. It'll go to everybody else, but if you're gonna build something in Jonesboro, you're gonna start at the planning department first. I've been told this is 3 to 5 minutes. I'm cutting it off at 3 minutes, so anybody have any questions, I'll be here at the end. So any questions, I'll answer at the end. Thanks.
Hello, my name is Ronnie Stanback. I'm with the sanitation department. We are responsible for collecting the refuse or waste from your garbage cans and disposing them off at the Craig County landfill. We also do the recycling program here, and we work with neighborhood cleanups like neighborhood association. They do a cleanup once a year, and we help them coordinate it and provide equipment and manpower, help them pick up stuff around there. So we cover the basic 82 square miles that everybody else cover in the city. So we also have do the limb collection, like limbs and stuff you cut out. You put them down. We come around every 5 weeks to a certain area. We have 5 routes we run 5 days a week. It's a different route every day, and that's basically we do that. We take trucks out to the schools. We got an incinerator where you can take yard waste out there to the incinerator and dispose of it. And we either burn it or either it turns to mulch and we give that away to people or deliver it to them. Some are using their flower beds, their gardens, things like that. And we work with code enforcement on picking up couches and things that are left out to bulky material that they can't pick up. When they find out who investigated and they find out who it belongs to, they ask us, we'll come pick it up. And that's basically what we do. You ain't got any questions? I'm last one. I'm almost to the last one. He told me to hurry up, so I'm gonna hurry up and get on out of here. All right, thank y'all.
Afternoon, how y'all? Since Miss Shelley's cut me short, I'm gonna lay some photos up here that y'all can look at. Kind of gives y'all an idea of what we do. I am the director for the street department. We maintain 300 miles of roadside ditches and the big ditches around town. If you see these big draining ditches that's running through the town, we've got a mode where the water can flow through them. Also, we keep all the side of the roads mowed. We're doing 300 miles of them, and then we also maintain the bypass to make it look better for when people comes into our city. In the wintertime, if most of y'all are driving, I got granddaughters that's driving, we keep the ice and snow off all the streets where y'all can get around at night when we're trying to get work done. That's about all I have, and y'all have any questions with me, y'all can get with Miss Shelley or contact me, and we'll do whatever we can do to help you out.
I'd like to also really quickly introduce two important people to the city, two people that I am blessed to work with every single day. Very, very talented individuals. Some of you may know Tony Thomas, our Chief Operating Officer. Tony is fantastic, brilliant, very, very kind man. And then, what's your name again? Oh, Brian Richardson. He's our Chief Executive Officer. I'm not real sure what he does on a daily basis, but we keep him around. No, truth is Brian is extremely gifted, and we're very, very happy to have him, and I'm very lucky and blessed to work with him every day. So Brian Richardson, Tony Thomas. Okay, directors, you're welcome to stay and hear the nitty-gritty of what these guys are going to be able to accomplish for you, or you're welcome to go. Whatever you choose to do. If you'd like to go, please take a pizza if you'd like to. We've kept you late, but it's completely up to you. Guys, I'm going to talk faster than I've ever talked in my whole life because I've got about 15 minutes until I promise to get you out of here. So here we go. Welcome to the Mayor's Youth Advancement Council. One of the reasons I wanted to get involved with you guys is because I read a statistic that made me very, very sad, and it goes like this. Only 26% of young people believe that adults in the community believe and value what you say. I'm here to tell you right now that this man, Mayor Harold Copenhaver, does believe in what you say, and he does believe in the visions that you have for this city. So I'm excited to be a part of everything that you guys are going to do. This initiative is going to be student-led. I'm only going to be here to help you as a liaison, to talk with the mayor, the city council, the department heads, that sort of thing. The reason that you had to sit through all of this, what may seem boring to some of us, is because there are little tidbits that you found interest in with one director or the other. And that's why I wanted you to hear that. There are things that would ring true to you and touch your heart or touch your imagination more so than other directors did. That's why you had to sit through the boring parts and the exciting parts, so that you could hear what will make a difference for you personally, so that you can bring to the city and give us your ideas and input. I put together a little PowerPoint. I'm going to run through it really fast. It's going to answer a lot of your questions. Does this work? Did I do this right? No? I did it wrong? There we go. Hey, there we go. Yeah, no, technology in me, whatever. So Jonesboro benefits when the youth are engaged. And one of the things that this council needs to promote is we need to empower you with a role in local decision making. You heard a lot of things about what we did today. You're going to help make those decisions. We're going to offer real world experiences with the elected bodies, with the mayor, with our city council, and our city clerk. We need to engage youth within the roles of local government. That's what you're going to do. And we're going to provide you an opportunity to develop these leadership skills as we go. Some of you brought them already. Some of you are here to learn. Either way, we're going to do this together, and I'm going to be the person to help you get your voices heard. We're going to increase your voice in your communication between youth and the adults. And you're going to do that amongst yourselves as well. We're going to form committees, or what we call task force, so that we can make sure that our voices are heard. And I will be there to make sure that everybody's ideas and voices are heard. And we're going to increase youth community volunteerism, and we're going to enhance classroom civic education. And we're going to do that with the ideas that you bring to the table. It sounds like work, but it's going to be fun because it's going to be your ideas. And please excuse me, I just got a really bad phone call, so I'm not myself right now. The mission of Mayor Copenhaver's Youth Advancement Council is actually going to be yours to write. I kind of gave you a generic idea to let you know that the purpose of this youth council will be to serve in an advisory role. Y'all, I'm sorry. My mother is very sick, and I just got the phone call. My apologies. I don't think you can, sir. Let me. I didn't, he works so hard. Okay. The purpose of the Youth Council will be to serve in an advisory role of providing input and feedback for community decision makers, and to act and play volunteer roles in addressing community concerns. The belief is that the establishment of such a committee would give young people a meaningful role in the policy decision-making process and a voice in the growth and the change within our community. Students from every background were welcome to apply, and I am so happy to see a diverse group of students. Recruiting diversity in this city and making sure that you all represent what the city looks like is very, very important, not only for myself and for the mayor, but also for decision-making going forward. We want to make sure that everyone's voices are heard, regardless of whatever background you come from, you know, be it church, socioeconomic, there's lots and lots of different ways that we can be diverse. You were chosen from all the schools. Some of you might even be homeschool. I think we have one homeschool or private school student, but there are a total of 49 of you. That was not the way it was supposed to be in the beginning. In the beginning, it was going to be much more selected. But Mayor said, this city has such wonderful opportunities within its youth. This first year, I want all the ideas I can have. So welcome all of you. You will have an advisory board that will start with Mayor Copenhaver. You will ultimately answer to him and tell him what your ideas and your plans are. At least once during the course of the school year for you all, you will get to sit in and possibly even speak at a city council meeting. I am your advisor appointee. Again, I'm nothing more than your liaison. I'm not your boss, I'm not your teacher, I'm just your friend. I'm the person that you say, this is what I want the mayor to know, and I will make sure that that message is carried on. We will also have Asu Junior Advisors. Once we form these task forces, they will be a part of those, and so you will have more of a peer who is a little bit older and a little bit more experienced, who can also help guide you through these processes as we go. The Youth Advancement Council will be made up of a leadership board. That board will be a chairman, a vice chair, a treasurer, a secretary, and a parliamentarian. But it's bigger than that. Let me explain. The chairperson will be a 12th grader. However, the vice chair will be an 11th grader, and next year you will be chair. The treasurer will also be a 12th grader. However, the treasurer will also have an assistant who is an 11th grader, and next year you will take over as chair. Same with the secretary. Secretary will be a 12th grader, 11th grader. Next year you will take over. Parliamentarian, the same thing. Does everybody in the room know what a parliamentarian does? You write the rules, right? If you don't and you're interested, you talk to me. I'll let you. Basically, that's the person that writes the rules. It's as simple as that. I do have handouts on this, the leadership board. I did tell all of you that you will have an opportunity to apply. Unfortunately, 10th graders, you're gonna have to ride the bus with me until next year, and you guys show them what you can do so that you can be board members too, okay? I do have handouts if you want to take those home. I know a lot of you don't care for paper, so I'm going to send that to you digitally as well. And then I have a Google form that you can all fill out. I'll send that to you digitally as well so that you can let me know that you are interested. We will have, we will kick this off with about 6 different subcommittees or task force. This can grow. Again, this is your youth council. You can do with it as you choose. But just to give you a platform or a basis, I came up with 6 very basic task force that we can work from. And all of these will sort of play into all of the different things that you heard our directors talk about today. I can certainly give you more detailed explanations of what all these subcommittees are when I send you the digital forms to sign up for different things. But just to save time, it's as simple as city beautification, communications and technology, community outreach, diversity and inclusion, health and safety, planning and engineering. I bet you all can kind of figure out how the director's work would plug into these different areas. And again, there is a Google form that is already pre-made that I will send out tomorrow so that you guys can sign up. And you can choose the top 4 of the task force that you think you might like to be a part of, and tell me why. Tell me why you're interested in that. You heard what they had to say. You know what piqued your interest. Again, back to reporting. Everything will be reported to the mayor. He'll know everything that we do, and he can be as active or not as he chooses. The city council will also know. We will report to them annually, and then you will report to me. We'll talk more like twice a month, that sort of thing, and then you'll have your ASU advisors as well. Meetings will mostly be digital. Guys, I know you don't have time to meet with me for 2 hours a month. I don't have time either. So we're gonna keep this as simple as possible, and we're gonna kind of condense things down, and you're gonna tell me what your task force are doing, and we're gonna get it done. This was basically how we started whenever we kicked everything off, so I just left this slide in there just to show you that we are right on track. Unfortunately, it is the last day of June, but guys, we got it in. So we're right on track, and we'll get everything done as quickly as possible to have our task force rolling by the time the school year is here. So I told you guys, if you have any questions at the end, that's what I'm here for, to answer all of those questions. I know we were going to touch on if you wanted to be on the board of directors. Here's your handbook. I'm certainly send this paper home with you, or like I said, I'm going to send it to you digitally tomorrow. And again, the same with your task force committees. And this is going to go into detail a little bit more, kind of what these task force need to look like. But again, student-led, it's up to you guys. If you come and say, this task force is not going to work, let's change it with something else, it's going to be up to you. I just wanted to give you sort of a foundation or a platform to build from. So that is all I have to say. Like I said, I'm just your person who you tell what to do. So now it's your turn. Questions, input, anybody? Yes, ma'am. I think that probably about 2 committees is where we're going to plug everybody in. We don't want to overwork everybody, and we certainly don't want to take up a whole, we know how busy you guys are. I mean, once you're in high school, you're covered up, you're active in sports and clubs and dating and everything else that you do. So we're going to keep it sort of simple and start out with about 2. Yep, anything else? Come on, guys. Yes. You absolutely can. You can go ahead and give that to me now. It will ask you in the Google form to go ahead and upload, just so that I should go ahead and tell you guys, I'm going to be working with a group of teachers and professors to decide on your first leadership board. In the future, you guys will decide that. You will vote, because you'll know from your 10th graders who's hardworking and wants to be a part of everything. But right now, we don't know. So I have asked some teachers and professors, and we're going to submit by Google form just so that I can send that on to them. But I can certainly make copies just as easy, and us old folks like copies anyway, so that's easy. What else? Come on, guys. Yes. I didn't understand. Yes. I do believe that's the way that we set it up. I don't have that in front of me, but I do believe that is the way that we set it up, that it would be the older students to lead. Honestly, if you have a true passion for something, I don't care if you're in 10th grade, you tell me, I will work hard for this to be a committee chair. I don't care how old you are. If you are that interested, we're gonna make it happen. Yep. Anybody else? Any questions about anything that the directors told you today? Anybody? Okay, so the next meeting is the next thing that we need to talk about. It was kind of my thought that maybe we, once we have a leadership board in place, maybe we let that board come together, and the board can then decide from the applications where to sort of place everybody on the task force, and then maybe at the beginning of the school year, we have another group meeting. What are y'all's thoughts on that? I know y'all are much busier than I am. I'm getting some thumbs up, I'm getting some head shakes. All right, so let's do this. Let's say, let's set a deadline, and y'all tell me if this is too fast. Let's say I send you out the email tomorrow. If you do want to sign up for leadership board, let's give you till July 15th. Is that enough time? And that way I can have a decision maybe by the end of July as to who our leadership board is. We can meet around the 1st or 2nd week of August, and then it's time to start school, right? Okay, so July 15th, everybody think that work? So who's planning on applying? Raise your hand. Yes. All right, I'll send you an email tomorrow. Guys, I cannot thank you enough, and I'm so excited about this. I think you all have my cell phone number. If you get home and you think of anything, please don't hesitate to text me or email me. If there's an answer that I don't know, I'm gonna get it for you, okay? I appreciate you guys. Congratulations.